Good evening, everybody. That wasn't over the top, was it? It's Jamie here. Welcome to, I was nearly going to say Monday Night Live. It's not Monday night, it's definitely Tuesday night. And welcome, one and all and one, to our blend of cray cray. I hope you are all groovy. I was on time, by the way, before anyone says anything. I was. Your countdown was rubbish tonight. Rubbish, bloody rubbish. I hope you're all well. Thank you for tuning in on a Tuesday, which I know is a little bit unusual, is it not? You'll be aware that I was flying home yesterday evening from Turkey, and I ended up back in amazing Stoke about, I'd say about 9:30 p.m. Far too late to be doing a live with you gorgeous lot. And of course, the previous Monday, I was making my way to Turkey, to Marmaris. So I haven't seen you for 2 Mondays. However, you may well have seen me on a pop-up. I can pop up all over the place, my darlings. I am a total Pop-Tart, according to David Webb. And so are you. Many of you are Pop-Tarts as well. I did do a live from Marella Discovery, and to my surprise, well, pop-ups, by the way, are just that. Could happen anytime, anywhere, any place. Could be wearing anything, could be wearing nothing. You never know with a pop-up and a Pop-Tart. You just don't. And it's half-hour maximum. So I managed to pop up and do a live on YouTube from my cabin on board Marella Discovery in between ports. I don't know where I was sailing at that time. And it lasted for nearly 25 minutes, so nearly the full 30 minutes before it just went boom. So some of you may well have been come along to that, and I hope you enjoyed it. I was absolutely gobsmacked. I watched a bit today how clear the screen was and the audio as well. I mean, go Marella Wi-Fi. Boo, boo, boo. Anyway, folks, I'm back. And today I'm going to be talking in more detail about that very Marella cruise. My next cruise as well with Princess. It's Regal Princess. It's a British Isles cruise. I'll talk you through that. Today I was interviewed, not for a job or anything like that, by the way. I've got one of those. Thank you very much. Just one job now. Yes. And also some Wave Awards news as well. So it's all happening. I will be back with you next Monday as well, before heading off on a 12-night cruise. So it's a British Isles one, as I said. I'm expecting to pop up here and there because I can't leave you for weeks and weeks on end, can I? I just can't. Yes, it does seem like an age. It's good to see you all as well. Yes, please do. Have a seat. Please do. If you've had energetic days, if you're hot, if you're sweaty, take your clothes off if you need to. No one's watching, are they? I can't see you through here, by the way. I can't, I promise you. Thank you, Kerry. It was a lovely pop-up, she says. That's nice to hear. Hi, saying hi. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Amazing Stoke sunshine. Yes, Stephen, plenty of sunshine in amazing Stoke today and plenty of heat. I brought it back from Turkey. Well, I left about 8 or 9 degrees in Turkey, actually, but I brought the rest back with me. It's your first time at live, Jodie. Welcome on board. It's crazy. It gets a lot crazier. Devon Depcher, hi. Right, so as we always do, yes, it's Scotcho. There was a lot of Scotcho on my Marella vlog, which you'll see in the coming weeks. Scotcho, everything's Scotcho. And I had this sheen about me quite often when I was out and about, otherwise known as sweating me heebie-jeebies off. Anyway, we always start off the evening with a quick check-in. So please do, in the chat, type your number. 0 meaning you need immediate check-in from some lovely people here and myself, all the way up to a 10 being, I don't know, the hills are alive with the sound of you. I would say I'm an 8 today, feeling pretty perky after my week away. It's the summer holiday, so there's no school. Not that there would be anyway. It feels like a summer holiday to me rather than the end of my school career, if that makes sense. I think I'll have to wait until everyone goes back in September before I'll know how I feel about that whole thing. I've got a few questions. I'm going to ask you please to pause your questions and ask them a little bit later when we do our Q&A. Otherwise, it's not likely going to be answered. Thank you for saying that the pop-up was amazing. I think it was all right. We got 10s, yes, and 8s, 6, 9, 8, 6, 7, 9, 8, 10, 10. More 10s. Wow, folks, you are doing an awesome job if you're on a 10. And I think a 7 to a 10 is pretty good going, isn't it? Okay, so on the whole, we're pretty perky. I like that. And no one's needing immediate attention. I like that as well. Neil, I'm sure you're going to have a fantastic transatlantic on the Sun Princess. Right, let me... before I get into the details about the Marella cruise, please do make sure you give this a cheeky little like or indeed a thumbs up. It makes my heart glow from the inside out when you do that. We normally get around 300 thumbs up during a live, which, I don't know, makes me feel all warm and centered or something like that. Don't forget you can follow me on Facebook, Jamie W. Robbins. In fact, we'll be following one another, of course, because it is my personal account. Don't come onto my personal account being rude, by the way. It's my personal account. If you want to be rude to me, you can do that elsewhere. Okay, not my personal account. I'm on X, Threads, and Instagram at Travelblog Jamie, of course, and YouTube right here, right now. And make sure you've given a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribed. It's free of charge. It helps me a lot help. I'm also on patreon.com/Travelblog Jamie. 5 tiers to choose from, all sorts going on there. And also, if you want personalized messages for yourself, why not? A loved one or even someone who doesn't like me and you want to just wind them up, cameo.com/Travelblog Jamie. There you go. I've got all that out of the way. Right. Let's talk very briefly about Marella. So you may have seen the first vlog has already been released, about embarkation day, the whole fly cruise process, yada, 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 how it works. It's important. Not everyone's done a fly cruise, and there's always a lot of questions about it. You're going on Marella, Ethan. Fantastic. That's what we're talking about right now. And then tomorrow morning, it's already uploaded. It will be live about 7:30 a.m. for any of you early birds. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll be up then. I'll be there talking live. I will be. About the cabin, the balcony cabin I had, and then the main events, 3 parts actually, each part about an hour. There was a lot to do. There was a lot going on and a lot of ports as well. It's going to take me ages to edit those together, but the first one absolutely will be ready Saturday, then the next one, part 2, the following Wednesday, then the next one, the following Saturday. Absolutely, I promise you. Oh, thank you, Scruff. That is super kind of you. Oh, Jules and Kev, only a 2. Too hot to be a postie, I bet. Absolutely. And welcome. Yes, thank you. People are making it, some of you a little bit delayed. Don't you worry. There's always catch up as well, my loves. There's always catch up. You know that, don't you? And also, exciting news. Actually, there's a lot of exciting news today. I am nearly at 30,000 of you, gorgeous people on here. 30 bloody thousand. That's crazy, isn't it? Wow. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we'll be there by next week's live. So that'll be something to celebrate, and I will definitely get out the shots of vodka for that one. I might wear a nice tropical shirt or something as well. I don't know. What shall I wear? I'm not doing formal again. I did that a couple of weeks ago, didn't I? I'm not doing formal again. But it'll be awesome. If you know anyone who thinks they might like my blend of cray-cray and cheekiness, and of course information, please send them my way. They'll be welcome with open arms and then bear hugs, big bear hugs for them. Let's see if we can get to 30K by next week. That would be amazing. Really, really would. So Marella, the fly cruise process went very smoothly, even though we, of course, had that IT outage, the global IT outage, which had affected quite a few TUI flights over the days, but not hours. It was a 45-minute delay. I mean, that's nothing. We were just relieved to get there. The flight itself was only 3 hours and 25 minutes to Turkey, which is awesome. Dalaman, Turkey. That was a quick one. We had strong tailwinds, but no turbulence, which was good. I'm getting used to turbulence a bit now. I've flown so much, haven't I, over the last year? I am getting used to it. I have. Jack says 29,800 and something. Been subbed since 11,000. Thank you very much. Oh, Ian, your wallet wants to have a quiet word with me. Only a quiet word, Ian. Andrea watched your Sky Princess vlog and now we were going on it. Gee, thanks. You're welcome. Just wait till you're on board and you have to pay for all of the gratuities and drinks and etc. Whatever. Yeah, then you'll be really, really thanking me. Then you'll be thanking me. Oh, and Tracy and Ashley have posted their first mini vlog today, a little cabin review. You start small, get big, go medium, go large, go home, stay. You do whatever suits you and what you're happiest with. I'm not on Iona again. I've not booked any more P&O cruises, and I'm still waiting for them to resolve the issue that we've spoken about many times, that I did a podcast with the Sail Away boys that was released a couple of weeks ago. It's been over 7 months and they haven't resolved the issue. They don't seem to think they've got anything to resolve at the moment. Devon Detch has booked 2. So, fly cruise process, absolutely fine. The thing is, there are a lot of steps to these fly cruise processes, isn't it? It's like you're doing the whole airport thing, which went smoothly. I had a gorgeous Japanese omelette, by the way, in Wagyamama. Absolutely stunning it was. No problem with the flight. We were on a Dreamliner. It's a busy route, so 2 are using their Dreamliners. 3, aisle 3, or was it 4? Aisle 3. Big plane. Screens on the back of the seats, USB chargers, cafe to get your food and drink. Suck it, Maleth. 2 managed that on a short haul, just so you know. Yeah. Anyway, arrival, fine. Getting through Dalaman Airport. It was about a 25-30 minute wait for luggage at the carousel. It was fine, though. They got aircon. And then it was an hour and a half transfer from Dalaman Airport to Marmaris and the cruise terminal there. The check-in for the cruise then takes place, which was pretty quick, actually. I don't remember there being more than about 5 people in front of me. Through security, passport control, on you go, and then it starts. The moment I stepped on board Marella Discovery, I felt at home almost immediately. I really did. The crew, and I think I said this on my pop-up, and now that I've experienced the whole week, the best crew I've experienced on any ship, on any cruise line, on Marella Discovery this last week. Now, that's a bold statement, but it's totes true. And you know what? I'm very nosy like this. I listen into conversations with the crew and other passengers because some cynical people out there would say, oh, they've only been nice to you because you're a vlogger. So I always want to get a sense of whether the way I'm being spoken to is the same as everyone else. You know, consistency is key, isn't it? It's totes key. Oh, they were delightful. And you could see some of the passengers, they were just in love with this crew. They really were. There was one guy in particular who was always at the coffee port, pretty much always. I mean, I thought I was bad. He was always there. He just loved being around the crew. They loved him as well. They looked after him so well. It was just delightful. So there you go. That was a massive win. Marella Discovery as well. It always felt like there was somewhere to sit during the day, in the evenings, any bar. I didn't have a lounge. I didn't have any problem getting seats. I only had to wait for a drink once. And partly because I was being stubborn and thinking, I'm not going up to the bar. I'm not. I've been sat here for some time. They say that it's table service. Let's see how long it takes. I ended up going to the bar. I did say to them, oh, I've been sat here for some time. There's a lot of people you've served since. And like, he literally was so mortified and apologetic. It was the middle of the week. I was tired. It's port heavy, you know. I wasn't trying to be a diva or anything. Matthew would say that. Oh, you're a diva. He always calls me a diva. Oh, Matthew, by the way, any patrons out there, Matthew's coming on our live Sunday. I haven't posted yet. I will post later. Sorry, I had to just slip that one in there because the patrons will be wondering when my live is. This Sunday it will be. Matthew's going to be on it as well. Yes. How many times will he call me a diva? That is the question. What else? Oh, the pools. I like going to the pool in the morning, let everybody else get off, although it was never actually that busy getting off in port. It's nice and quiet in the mornings on the port day, and I love going to the pool about 5:30, 6 p.m. when people are getting ready for dinner. It's my favorite time, absolutely. Pools were heated very nicely. They didn't need to be because it was so hot. The indoor pool, much cooler, and needed to be because it was like a conservatory. Well, it is a conservatory, like a sauna in there, a total sauna. Itineraries, Marella itineraries, I've always said they're great. This one was fantastic. And that leads me on to hashtag I know him so well. Yes, this is the time of evening where I ask you a question or two. You pop your answers in the chat. Am I going to get there before anyone else? The first person to get all the correct answers wins a lifetime of I got there before you. No one knows. I'll wait. No one knows. I'll continue to wait. What's the prize? Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Trident Party Trio. A lifetime of prestige, my darlings. It's worth more than any monetary gift I can provide you. Prestige. Yada. You're all late. You too slow. You so slow. You should know that was coming. All right, here's the question. Are you ready? I would like you to write in the chat which ports I visited on the Marella Discovery cruise. I'm not going to tell you how many. Which ports? I need to just count. I made a note here. Which ports did I visit on my cruise last week? There you go. All of them, though. Cheryl, you've just put one down, my darling. All of them. No prestige yet. I'll come back to you and see how you've got on shortly. All right, I want to talk about Marella food because that's a bit of a hot cake, so to speak. Food's always a very subjective matter, isn't it, my loves? We all know this. Okay. What I like, some of you will hate, and vice versa. What some of you think is high quality and tutti snooty witty food, I will think, I wouldn't feed that to my dog. I don't have a dog. I wouldn't feed it to my rats. Okay. I notice no one's got the answers yet. Am I going to actually win this myself? There's only one time on here when nobody got the answer right. Just the one. Oh, hang on. Ryan's coming strong with this one. He's got a variety look. Let me have a look just quickly. Okay, because I don't want to say whether he's right or wrong at the moment. I'm not saying. Food. I liked it. Could the presentation be a little bit better in places in the main dining room? Yeah. But literally every meal I had was either good or very good. In Corala, it was very good. In the Italian part of the MDR, main dining room, it was very good on the whole. The main dining room, it was good to very good. The buffet, I thought it was good. I didn't have a problem with the food, so I can't quite work out where some of the comments come from that it's really terrible. And some people are saying all of it is terrible, and I find it hard to believe someone will say every single thing they had was terrible. But like I say, subjunctive. No, we're not talking. You see, the teacher in me is thinking subjunctive mood. Subjective. If you've been on Marella, what have your experiences been? I think the food is generally good. I do. I like the specialty restaurants on board as well. So that was just my experience. And I did say on the pop-up, and this is going to shock some of you. Are you ready? Some of the food I had in the main dining room was better than what I had on Cunard recently. That's a statement. That's bold AF, isn't Yeah, that train thinks it's bold AF as well. Honestly, tender rides. I give massive kudos to the captain and his crew for making sure, in spite of rough seas, they got us to, I'm not saying where because it'll give it away. Oh, God, I say Bozcaada, the island of Bozcaada in Turkey, but weren't able to get us all back at the time they needed to. And there was a delay. For some people, an hour, for some people, 2 hours. It was rough going back, and I bloody loved it. And yes, I did film it. Was there screaming? Yeah. Was I laughing? Yeah. Did some people get soaked? Yeah. Did we go into a wave and it covered the whole thing? Yeah. Who was a happy travel vlogger? Who loves it rough? I do. So yeah, it was, as far as I'm concerned, was always safe. It's just not necessarily comfortable, is it? For some people, and it was a scorching day as well, so it was very hot in there, and they had to close some of the windows to avoid waves coming in. So it got hotter as well, and we were corkscrewing. I love that. I love it. So yeah, it wasn't for everyone. Absolutely not for everyone. But I didn't have a problem. And I think fantastic work to the crew. They were adamant that we were going ashore and we were going to get back on the ship, even though we were delayed in leaving as a result, you know. So great work there. Nothing super special in terms of the food, says Mark Gamer. Yeah, not super special. Good, solid. Yeah, I would agree with you on that. I think the Corala meal I had was definitely a very strong meal. In fact, the starter was one of my best starters I've had on any ship. It was superb. It really was. Okay. Drinks package as well. It's all inclusive, but it's £90 to upgrade to the premium drinks package for premium brands, for example, and iced coffees. On this occasion, I do feel that the sizes of drinks in cocktails are on the smaller side. There have been comments as well about watering things down. I personally didn't experience that. I mean, I had an amazing espresso martini. Not one. I was nearly undrinkable one night, by the way. I'm really not looking forward to editing that part of the vlog. I think I've made a total out of myself. I think it's because I had so much caffeine rather than there was a lot of booze. There was a lot. My God, I was yaddering away. It's going to be so cringe editing that. The question is, should I leave it in or not? Do you want all of that in, or shall I just take it out? So look, it was a very good cruise, in my opinion. And it's made me actually now start looking at more Marella cruises. It's also made me realize I'm a big fan of Discovery, the layout of the ship, the crew. They just made it so special, in my personal opinion. I'm not so much a fan of Voyager, but Explorer 2, Discovery 2, I'm a fan. Matthew's a fan as well. He's looking as well. If you're a patron, come on the Patreon Only Live on Sunday. Can you please question Matthew about going on a Marella cruise? I'm saying it a bit quiet because he can hear everything normally. It's a very thin wall. I've got to be really careful. People are saying leave it in. Jodie says leave it in. Tara, do leave it in. Yes, you should leave it in, says Ryan. Debbie, leave it in. Scruff, leave it in. Leave it in, says Tina. Yes, says a funny kind of grown up. Karen says yes. Chris says yes. Cynthia says leave it in by all means. Mark and Ali yaddering, leave it in. Hi Vicky, I'll leave it in then, shall I? Unedited. Oh, God, it's going to be so cringe. Can I say congratulations, by the way, hashtag I know him so well, to Ryan, who was the first to point out all of the ports of call, not necessarily in the right order, but I didn't ask for that, did I? So Marmaris, Istanbul, Bozcaada, Bodrum, Heraklion, and Rhodetown. What a stunning itinerary. It really was. Every single port there had something beautiful or interesting to offer. I think my favorite is still Rhodetown. I just think it has everything. It's got a very small but perfectly formed beach, beautiful blue seas, warm seas. It's got history, it's got culture. It had amazing food, boat trips from the harbour that you don't have to book in advance. I just rocked up and poof, off I went. Lovely people. And the Citadel is just out of this world. Every corner stunning, and it's one of those places where you can get sort of lost, up side alleys and stuff. I love a side alley. I absolutely do love one. Okay, so well done, Ryan. You now have a lifetime of prestige. The question is what you're going to do with it, Ryan. What you're going to do. Right, next job. Next job. Princess, Regal Princess, 8 days time. I've got 8 days to get all those Marella vlogs sorted, edited, and uploaded. I can do it. So, Princess, 12 nights. It's a British Isles cruise, and we are going to Cove, Holyhead, or is it Holyhead? Holyhead, Wales, sorry. Belfast, Greenock for Glasgow, Kirkwall in the Orkney Islands, Edinburgh, Le Havre, very British, and Falmouth. Here's what I am. You haven't cheated. Oh, it's your honeymoon. Congratulations. Here's what I'm looking forward to. So I've purchased one of their packages, the middle package, that gives you Wi-Fi for the whole thing. Drinks up to, I think it was $15. They are quite expensive on board. Gratuities included, 2 of the casual restaurants, 2 premium desserts a day. I'm not going to be able to have those. Maybe I could, if any of you are on board with me, come and find me. I'll give you a premium dessert, 2 a day. That's 24 in total, by the way. I got you. I have things planned in Cove and Belfast. I love both of those. I've been to both before. Holyhead, I'm being met by the lovely Cheryl. I think she's in the house. Cheryl's in the house. She's going to take me on an excursion that with Princess would have cost about $150. So thank you, Cheryl. And I hope you don't mind being in the vlog, my darling. It's important that you are. Hi, everyone. Hi. Also, Greenock for Glasgow. I'm meeting my niece and her husband. My niece is now pretty heavily pregnant. Now, they've booked for us to travel about an hour and a half north-ish of Glasgow to do all that funny jumping off cliff things, and tubing, that sort of stuff. Wearing a wetsuit, that kind of stuff. I've paid for it, so there's no going back. Now, because my niece is pregnant, she won't be taking part, so she's going to be filming it all. So yes, you're going to get to see me being very wet, in a very tight wetsuit, flying off cliffs and down streams and rivers or something like that. Does that sound fun? I don't know if it does. Of course it sounds fun. I'm going to have a great time. Edinburgh, I'm meeting the lovely Sean, who's going to give me a nice tour. And knowing Sean, there will be alcohol involved. And Falmouth, I've forgotten who it is now. One of you lovelies has asked to meet for a coffee in Falmouth. And I'm absolutely, yes, it's the Fringe Festival, or where I am, yeah. Is going to meet me for a coffee somewhere, but I can't remember who it was now. Please get in touch, because the answer is yes. I just don't know what time. So lots to look forward to on a British Isles cruise. And a lot of you out there have not done one before and have asked if I would consider it because it would be of interest to you. And the more I think about it, the more I think it should be really interesting. And I think there'll be a real mix of passengers on board as well. I think I'm hoping that some of our lovely American and Australian crowds will have descended upon us for this cruise as well. I hope. Right, here's the next piece of news. So today I was interviewed by Basingstoke Gazette. Yes, Basingstoke Gazette got in touch and wondered if I would do an interview. They were intrigued and for some reason think their readers would be interested to know how on earth or why on earth someone would be a teacher for 25 years and go into vlogging, become a YouTuber full time. So the interview was about 35 minutes. They're obviously going to type up the highlights and probably change the order around a little bit. I hope it all reads well and I don't come across as a diva, as I keep getting called by Matthew these days. It was good fun. She was lovely, actually, and we had a bit of a giggle. So I will be sure to post a link for you when that is released. I just love the fact that it's Basingstoke, the Gazette. I featured in it once before. Matthew was laughing about this when I made a complaint about all the rail works right outside the flat that we weren't given any warning about because it was all the way through the night and it was the worst noise ever. So I filmed some of it and I posted it to the Gazette, and they did they did a piece on that, and I got so much hate from some of the railway workers. It's like, well, I'm sorry, but you're supposed to tell people in advance when that's happening. I wouldn't have stayed here if I'd known that was going to happen. I would have put us up in a hotel somewhere. I absolutely would have, or we would have gone away for the weekend, because we didn't get any sleep, like zero. They were so vexed with me. It's like, look at travel vloggers. Jog on. And the last piece of news, and this is going to coincide with hashtag on someone's telly somewhere, so you can take those pictures shortly, is I found out yesterday that I have been, because of you lovely people, shortlisted for the Wave Awards 2024. And you might be aware that this is the one I want you to take pictures of. Yes, because you can post this everywhere and encourage people to vote for me when voting opens. Yes. It's good news. You'll be aware I went to the ceremony. I've been the last 2 years. Last year I was in the final and I didn't win. I'm not going to win. I'm too opinionated to win a Wave Award for favourite cruise and travel vlogger. However, it is the taking part that counts, and it's a bit of exposure, isn't it? Without having to take your clothes off, that's good kind of exposure, isn't it? Isn't it? This is what I'm talking about. This is the sort of thing I say out loud that would prevent me from winning a Wave Award. However, I did want to say thank you very much to anyone out there who voted. I really do appreciate it because it's taken time out of your busy schedules to do that, which is very lovely of you. And when voting opens for the final part, if you're able to, I would love to have your support one more time. I don't know that they've released the shortlist yet formally. Obviously, people on the shortlist are aware that they've been shortlisted. So once I have a link, I will let you know. But thank you. It's lovely to have that level of support. It's lovely to be nearly at 30,000 of you as well. It's lovely. So thank you. Right. It's now time to hand over to you gorgeous lot for the Q&A. So if you've asked a question before now, I won't have seen it because we tend to have over 600 comments and questions when we do a live. It's at this point where I'm totally focused on you all, my gorgeous lot. But if you've got a question, it would be wonderful if you could just type question at the start in capitals if you can. If you want to shout out, that's also fine, or shout out for somebody you know. I'm ready for you. It looks like some of you know how this works. Okay, let's start. People who are saying they've already voted, that's lovely. Oh, you've had an email today for voting. I didn't know that. I haven't seen that. When did that come out? I'd love to know because I need to put a link up. People keep asking for a link. Coral Hawkins, I read somewhere you are black belt in karate. Is that true? No, but I have been a kickboxer over the years. I used to train 3 or 4 times a week. I was crazily into my kickboxing. So that's something not many people know. So don't pee me off. Okay, Becky, shout out to me. I officially graduated as a vet last Thursday. Dr. Sherwood now. Mum, Dad, Bert, and I are finally together in Cumbria checking out my new job. Lots of love. Congratulations. That's fantastic news. We need as many vets as possible. A very difficult job, and we entrust our animals with you as well. So congratulations. I've only got water because I've got a detox after last week. Congratulations. Cheers to you. Clever clogs as well. Alan, are the cruise company landing you into South Queensferry for Edinburgh? I think so. As you might be able to pop down and say hi. Okay, of course. So just be aware, I have no idea what time we're arriving or anything like that yet. So you'll have to bear with me, okay? And also, I imagine that will be a tender, won't it? So timings will be tricky. So if you can bear with me on that, I will make things loud and clear as soon as I know. Question, I apologize to ask this because you probably get it all the time, but what's your best advice for traveling with severe anxiety? Well, you see, I'm really sorry for anybody who suffers with severe anxiety, first of all. Very, very difficult thing to do. And I'm really pleased people are still traveling and trying to overcome those challenges. Thing is, I don't have severe anxiety. Some of you probably know I was going to say this. So therefore, I don't know how to best give advice to travel with severe anxiety, because I think people suffer very differently from those kind of things. Everyone's anxiety is unique and personal to them. And some things are triggers and other things aren't. So I'm not trying to avoid your question, but I don't think I'm best placed to answer that without knowing exactly the kind of things that trigger you. And I think it would be really remiss of me to start giving out advice on things I don't know anything about. So I'm really sorry if that sounds like I'm trying to avoid. I'm absolutely not. I say exactly the same thing when people ask me about accessibility. I can point out to you where things are accessible, but that doesn't mean it's accessible for you. So I'm just a little bit cautious about that, and I hope you don't mind. I've seen people with severe anxiety on cruises who always have located in advance or asked in advance for quiet spaces or quieter spaces, including bars. And yes, they do exist, absolutely. So I've helped people with that. I would just suggest, if you've got specific questions and triggers that you don't mind messaging me about, I'd be more help that way. Okay. What does everyone else think? Am I being a bit too cautious, or what do we think? I could be, but you're welcome to message me. You are. Okay. Cynthia, did they release the shortlist? Oh, they did release it. World of Cruising sent me the ballot via email. Oh, well, they haven't sent it to me, so I haven't got a link for it. Any chance you could send me a copy? Tracy and Ashley's travels. Will you be going to the Titanic Museum in Belfast? Yes. I've actually already got a vlog on that, though. I've done it before. I love Belfast. I'm going to go to Bootleggers as well to have me loaded fries. If I can remember where it is, of course I'll find it. But I am going to the Titanic Museum again. I loved it so much the first time. I really did. I'm trying to remember. I think it was it on a Fred Olsen? If you search Travelblog Jamie Fred Olsen Borealis, it should have been, yeah, it was a 5-night cruise we did around Ireland. It will be on that, but I'm planning on going into a bit more detail with it on the up and coming cruise. Okay, Jean, I can't say your name. Janine. The spelling is very unique. I love it. Jamie, it's G. That's so much easier. Why didn't I think of that? I'm off on Aurora in March to see the Northern Lights. What items would you recommend? We'll definitely need warm, very, very, very warm clothing. How far north are you going? I imagine you'll be going at least as far as Tromsø. warm clothing, my darling. Absolutely. Snow boots or shoes that you'll be able to wear in the snow without slipping over and breaking your neck. Um, I would take sachets of Horlicks, and if I were able to drink hot chocolate, I would take those as well. I'd be making all of that and sitting out on a balcony, freezing cold in the snow, drinking hot drinks, something like that, my darling. What a fantastic thing you're going to be doing. I'm going to be doing that in September with Princess, and I can't wait. There you go. We've got lovely people being lovely to lovely, lovely Becky and her fantastic news. Dr. Becky. Daniel, can I get a shout out, please? I'm off to Mexico in 27 days. Here's to you, Daniel, Dan Dryland, and your trip to Mexico in 27 days. Which part are you going to? I was going to do a bit of a tour in Mexico, actually, from coast to coast and everything in the middle. Maybe one day. I was thinking of doing something like that in Vietnam as well. Got all these ideas. Neil, as I said earlier, we are going on a transatlantic cruise to Fort Lauderdale in September. How do you deal with so many sea days? Well, originally, I thought I was not going to enjoy it, Neil, at all. Not that I get bored, but that I thought I would want to be doing lots of other things, or I could be at home interacting with and working with my patrons and doing all my cameos and things like that I thought I might not be able to do on a transatlantic. As it turns out, I was able to because of the fabulous Wi-Fi. Here's how I dealt with it. Not long before going, I was so tired from work, 2 jobs. I was absolutely frazzled. I was so tired. And all I could think of for the first time ever about this transatlantic was, oh my God, I'm not going to have to do anything or very much for 6, ours was 6 nights, 6 nights. And it sounds like bliss to me. And the flow of people on Queen Mary 2, I'm not sure which ship you're going on, is so different for a transatlantic because it's a mode of transportation for a lot of people. So I could get up late. I could have a lie-in, which was such a luxury. It really was. And not have to line up for breakfast or anything like that. I just felt like it was super relaxed. I started to de-stress, and I found myself attending some classes that I probably ordinarily wouldn't attend, try something new. I met so many lovely people as well. I was very often sitting, chatting with people I'd never met. I did a lot of swimming. I did a lot of editing, a lot of filming and a lot of editing. So for me, it was a case of I was so knackered, I just needed a break. And that set me up perfectly for that break. But I don't know who you're sailing with, which ship. And I think that might affect how you perceive and how you operate on a transatlantic, to be honest with you. Go and enjoy. Paul, have you a favorite river cruise line? I've only ever done TUI, so no, and I probably wouldn't have a favorite anyway, if I'm honest with you, because I think everything is so unique. TUI river cruises are billed as budget river cruises. They probably are in comparison to other lines, but the prices are steadily rising. We did a Danube river cruise in the summer, and it was super. It was splendid. I have a vlog on that in case you want to have a look. Travel blog, Jamie. TUI river cruise. I don't know what it's called. You'd imagine it's called something like that, wouldn't you? You really would. I think it was it on Skylar? Does anybody remember the name of the ship it was on? I think it was Skylar boat. It should be a boat, actually. And we're doing another over Christmas on the Rhine. So no, I haven't sailed with Emerald, but they have good reputation. So I'm sure you're going to have a fantastic time. We loved the river cruise. We really did. Okay, it's that time of the evening when I've scrolled way too far. And I'm just going to go back up. Oh, my God. Here we go. Ryan, oh, hang on. No, I haven't answered this one. Ryan, as mentioned, I'm doing the same cruise in a couple of weeks for my honeymoon. We'd like to know what's the best currency to take if you pre-booked excursion or booked on board. I pre-booked everything. The thing with a smaller ship is sometimes there's less availability for excursions. Having said that, I did look whilst on board, and quite a few of them were still available, but I think it's worthwhile doing it in advance. I didn't take any currency with me. I didn't. I used my card, and in Turkey in particular, I took out some Turkish lira because a couple of the places we went felt a little bit more remote. Certainly, when I did the 4x4, for example, up in the hills, oh my god, I did wine tasting and is it raki tasting for breakfast in the hills. It was so cool. That was another example of me having a little bit too much to drink. Oh yes, please do keep up with a thumbs up. That's very kind of you. Please keep them coming. Get those thumbs up. I would take a little Turkish lira. In terms of Greece, everywhere I went to took Visa card, to be honest with you. So I didn't take any cash up there. But if you're on an excursion, you might want to take some out for a tip. Sorry, that's not very helpful. Sorry, Turkish lira, I would definitely take some of that. Alan would like a shout out to his wife, Sharon, on her amazing recovery from her illness. Well, I think we can all cheers to that one, can't we? Well done, Sharon, for battling through whatever it has been, and keep up the good work, keep up the good fight, and we're very happy that you've made it through. I'm also very happy for you, Alan, because I'm sure that was a very worrying time for you. We've got more well done. Congratulations for Dr. Becky. Matthew would like a shout out to his wife. In the Princess Caribbean right now. You mean on the ship, Princess Caribbean, Caribbean Princess, or are you in the Caribbean? Either way, have a fantastic cruise wherever you are. Derek, Deck 6, how was your room? Well, you can see tomorrow morning because the cabin tour is out tomorrow. Loved it, loved it, loved it. The only thing that I critiqued was there was no fridge, which not everyone thinks is important. I'm somewhere in the middle, to be honest with you. For some people, they need to store their meds. Apparently, you can ask for a fridge and they don't have one. You can store meds in a fridge in the reception area, which is not very convenient. But Deck 6, cabin, location, cabin itself, all lovely. Cabin steward and stewardess, I had 2. Fantastic. Very, very good. Rachel, what a shame we won't be at our holiday home, which is 40 minutes from Holyhead. Would have been great to have a drink. What are your plans? You'll have to ask Cheryl because she's actually organising a trip for me. So I don't know. I'm in her hands. She informs me she's a very safe, reliable driver, and I hope that's true because Cheryl, I did share with you in Patrons what happened to me when I was younger in a car, didn't I? I won't bore the rest of you with that. You don't want me to talk about that today. Claire, question. I'm thinking of booking Treasures of the Mediterranean with Marella. Which ship do you think is best, Voyager or Explorer 2? Explorer 2. It's adults only, first of all. So if that's a problem because you've got children, then that's not going to be for you. Explorer 2, I prefer the layout. I prefer the pool deck. I preferred the restaurants on board. The crew. The Voyager, in all fairness, was new to Marella when we sailed on Voyager, and there were still some things to be ironed out. But I'm a big fan of Explorer 2 as an adults-only ship. I am. Deborah was talking about Link for the Wave Awards. Apparently, some of you have it. Ryan, question. It's not a question though, Ryan, is it? I'm reading ahead. Naughty Ryan. Your logs are awesome. That is all. Thank you. I'll take that. We could have question, shout out, and compliment. That would be nice. Oh, and if you want to be rude, what would we say for that? Incoming rudeness or something? I don't know. Sandy, we've avoided Marella because we've heard it's a party ship. It didn't look that way. What are your thoughts? It is a party ship if you want it to be a party ship, if that makes sense. I said to my lovely patron Elaine, we had a one-to-one today, that every venue on Discovery this week, I felt there was something taking place. The open decks, they had parties up there. They had the entertainment team singing live around the pool. They were literally walking and singing. They were getting people involved. They had a camera person following them, so it was on the screen. The cocktails were already laid out, the beers, the wines. Help yourself, because it's all in, of course. I thought it was a great atmosphere. I loved it. It was very lively. But then when I went down to one of the lounges, there was a saxophonist. Try say that after you've been... That's something I've got to look forward to editing as well. Pianist as well. You know, it was the band, the trio they were playing. I felt like there was something for everyone. I felt like there was a lounge for everyone as well. I felt like a coffee port, for example, a huge seating area, lovely, calm environment to sit in as well. So, yeah, it can be a party cruise. On a sea day, by the way, around the pool, it's going to be busy. But then at the aft, they've got a chilled area with these nice big pods you can sit in and everything. And at the very front of the ship, they've got lounge areas up quite high, where you can chill out as well. So you can find the area that is most suitable for you. I found very endearing. It was just watching everybody enjoying themselves, whether they were chilling or they were partying. People were just there to have a great time or to relax to the max. Relax to the max. I like that. And also, I'm not a big party person. Thank you for the 200 thumbs up, by the way. I'm not a big party person. I do like a drink. I like a boogie. I like a bit of partying, but I like the quiet as well, don't I? I like a bit of all of that. So I think if I can manage Marella, and I managed Virgin Voyages perfectly as well, other people can. It's not the quietest, though. You understand? It's not going to be like that. Okay, Devon Detcher. Jamie has most cruise ships have air conditioning in public areas or only in the cabins? Oh gosh, definitely in public areas. Some areas you'll find a bit warmer than others. For example, there are some sliding doors on prom deck, and 36 to 38 degrees some days on our cruise. When those doors are opening, that hot air is going to rush in. But on the whole, I find cruise ships to be a good temperature. They have aircon. If it's too hot somewhere, it's because there's air coming in from outside, or the aircon unit in that venue is not working. In fact, I comment on the vlog, I remember now, about how beautiful the aircon was as I was wandering parts of the ship. 2 people have retracted their messages. Shame on you. We're amongst friends here. You don't need to retract anything here, I promise. Pumika, I hope I said that correctly. Apologies if I didn't. Hi, Jamie. My family and I are going to Norway on Iona in a couple of weeks. Could you give us some tips, advice that not many people know? No, I've had this question before, Pumika, and I'm really sorry. I vlogged the hell out of our cruise on Iona to the fjords. I have hundreds of tips all the way through that series. There's absolutely nothing I can add. Nothing. Okay, and I'm not being awkward. I'm really not. I try and give every tip I can possibly think of in the vlogs. And the Norway one, there's, I think, a reason why it's already got over 200,000 views is because it's very informative, as well as a bit cheeky in places. I've covered everything, my darling. So there's nothing I can add that other people don't know that you haven't already seen. If you've got a specific question, I can try and help you. I'm really pleased that you're enjoying them. I hope you have a fabulous time. And sorry if it feels like I've avoided your question. I don't think I have. Alison, I'm doing a similar British Isles cruise itinerary next year on P&O. Would you be able to let us know in the vlogs if we can do trips independently? Yeah, I mean, everything I'm doing is independent. Everything. And what I've booked for Belfast and Co, independent. And I'll tell you why I've not done a Princess excursion. I haven't found a Princess excursion for the whole cruise that's less than $130. And there's the thing. Marella, I was paying £39-40 for excursions, It's a massive, massive difference. So I am going independent all the way out. as well as meeting some people, of course. Cav says the tender to South Queensferry started about 7:30. Need to get a ticket beforehand. I think with Princess, though, because I'm elite, you have priority tender embarkation, which is something I'm really looking forward to. But thank you so much for that information. Laura, interested to see how you like Princess. I've sailed Princess 4 times, by the way, and I've got the vlogs on those in case you want to see how I've got on with Princess previously. The package will be a new thing for me because I haven't sailed with them since they introduced those more recently. Laura has a transatlantic this coming February. Did a British Isles cruise 2023, loved it. Similar ports, awesome to hear that. Alawax fan, exactly, Jamie. I have severe anxiety and everyone suffers and needs a different. Okay, so it's not just me who feels uncomfortable in answering questions like that because I don't feel I'm the expert. I have a script of diazepam off my GP in these instances. Also, I need to avoid enclosed spaces. Okay, and again, good advice there. But as you say, everyone suffers differently, don't they? And I'm glad that you are able to manage that and travel and enjoy your travels. That's fantastic. Car Salvage 101. Oh, hey, Jamie, I love that. It's like car salvage sounds like it's going to be. And hey, Jamie, when arriving into Marmaris from Gatwick, do you have time to check in and leave the ship? Yes. It will depend on your flight, of course, and when your flight arrives. I had time. I just chose not to because it had been a long day already. But yeah, there was time. In fact, we didn't actually sail away till 5:30 a.m. because of the issue, the IT issues with some of the flights arriving from other airports. So I could have stayed out all night and got totally wrecked. I mean, you could do that on the ship without paying. I didn't do that on the ship, obviously. I don't get wrecked. I don't want you to think that I've got an issue. I haven't. Mm-hmm. And don't start with the ye who protest too much. Water. It's water, you loser. Thank you for the thumbs up. It would be wonderful if we could get towards the 300 mark. Thank you very much. I don't know how I'm doing with questions. Gillian, it will be Rosyth probably, which is, it's not Rosyth actually. It's Queensferry, is that right? South Queensferry. Louise, you seem to travel so light. How do you do it? Well, I just filmed packing tips and I released that a few days ago. So did you watch? I've done packing tips specifically for fly cruises, and I've done packing tips for cruises as well. The thing is, if you're on a fly cruise, you have luggage weight restriction, so you have to be more frugal. The other thing is, with the one I've just done, is hotter than hell, so you're not going to be taking, your coats and your scarves and that sort of stuff. Also, Marella is very informal. I didn't once wear my smart shoes. I wore my jeans on the first night and then vowed never to do it again when I saw all the gents wearing their tailored shorts. It's very informal, and dressed to impress night, I wasn't trying to impress anyone. Who are you trying to impress? Impress yourself, first of all. I didn't partake. I looked smart in what I was wearing, but I didn't dress up. So I made packing easy. Surely that's easy. I would suggest you check out my vlogs on packing tips. I always say use packing cubes, though. There's something about packing cubes as well, that it's not just about the organization of it in terms of when you arrive, you just take out your cube and in it goes to a drawer and unzip it, and that's it. You don't have to even take it out of the packing cube. It also gives you a better, clearer sense about exactly how much you are taking with you. And a lot of people take too much, don't they? I know the ladies out there who are going to say, but I've got 15 pairs of shoes and 100 frocks, etc. Well, that's your choice. That's your choice. Sorry, not sorry. Obviously, when I said with Cunard, I needed more smart clothes, and I did partake, as you might be aware, in a couple gala nights. But that was a separate a big packing cube for all my smart stuff. fine. And the thing is, if I'm packing smart stuff, it means I'm not packing other casual stuff, you know? So I don't know. I think I always have a whole case. There we go. And yes, I've always got a t-shirt and a vest a day as well, my loves. I've got my shorts. It just doesn't take up much room, to be honest with you. I really don't think. Okay. Nigel, Bootleggers Belfast, Ann Street by the Albert Clock. Thank you. I would have done a search for it, but I love a bit of Matthew loves Bootleggers as well. It's so dirty. I mean, the food in the best possible way. Oh my God, yeah, give me some Bootleggers food. Oh, yes. Shuri, I hope I've said that right. I appreciate your honesty there. It was very thoughtful of you to tackle that question in such a way, so thank you. And I fully understand it's a difficult question for us. Oh, you're welcome. But like I said, you can message me separately if you're happy to. Any plans for Sun Princess? Asked Neil. Not yet. Apart from I'm going to the press trip on Sun Princess mid-ish. Or was it the 2nd, 3rd of, I can't remember, September, middle to late September. So I will be going on board and I will be vlogging that experience, but I haven't booked on to Sun Princess. I do have 3 Princess cruises booked currently, and Matthew and I were looking at one for our birthdays in June that spans both birthdays, and someone has a significant number birthday in June. We won't talk about that. We won't talk about that, not yet. Becky is giving Shori some advice in terms of tackling anxiety, and having a good plan every day helps, and a plan B. That's very good advice. Thank you for that. And an escape plan on a ship. Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that people have asked me about before, and specifically which venues, if not my cabin. Janine has noted all of these. You're very welcome. Vicky, agree, Jamie, everyone's anxiety is different. My anxiety is different to my best friends. Definitely depends on your triggers. I must say, when I've been on a cruise, having a safe space helps me. Yep, I think everyone's now agreeing, isn't it? Like, to make sure you recognize where those places are in advance. Ryan, you greedy little so-and-so. Another question. You can apologize all you want. You can ask me 100 questions. Do you recall if you can pay to use the spa facilities for the day as you can on other Marella ships? On Discovery, they don't have thermal suite areas. Actually, they've just got like I think the sauna, and that was pretty much about it. So there's no payment needed for that at all. But it's not the same as the other ships, okay? As in Explorer and Voyager. Seasoul Studio. Hey Jamie, I mentioned a couple of lives ago about Falmouth. Yes, that's exactly what I said a bit earlier. I don't know if you were here earlier. Seasoul Studio. I was saying earlier, a lovely person on here suggested meeting up in Falmouth. I don't know the timings, but I would happily go for an iced coffee. I'm not going to take up too much of your time because I'm going to be doing a lot of filming as well, and I wouldn't want you to feel like I'm a rude sod. But yes, let's catch up for a drink. David, would you go on an NCL cruise? Yes, I've actually. Yeah, they're expensive and they're not cheap at all if you go solo. We did have 2 booked, but because they changed their itineraries so significantly, we cancelled them in the end, which is a real shame. I was really looking forward to sailing NCL. If anyone from NCL is out there, please get in touch with me. I'd love to come and sail with you. Thank you ever so much. Pricey, very pricey. Shani has forwarded the shortlist email. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Dr. Cindy here in a professional capacity. Advice for travelers with anxiety. She says she couldn't even give advice until I'd had an extensive talk with a person, likely for several visits. Okay, thank you. I'm glad no one thinks I'm just being cautious and using avoidance tactics, because that's not what I'm trying to do. Scruff is also talking to Shori about anxiety, wishing him luck. Yes, he's going to be able to do it. He's absolutely going to be able to do it. Jodie, enjoy the EastEnders reference in your blog. What reference was that? I don't actually watch EastEnders Jodie. So I don't know who's in it. I remember Phil Mitchell. I mean, Dot and Ethel in those days, bless them. You couldn't beat them. Pat Butcher, Peggy, all of that lot. I used to love them, love them, love them. Obviously, they're not around. So I haven't watched it for years. I've got to be honest with you. Thank yous around the room because you are all kind and supportive of one another. Daniel's going to Playa Car in Playa del Carmen. Been to Cancun as well. Chris is on third NCL cruise. Actually, good value when you take into consideration the free at sea package. Yeah, I just can't get around the solo prices at the moment for them. I'll keep looking. I am absolutely gonna find that bargain. I am, or just something that's reasonable. Ricky, sorry, we're just talking about EastEnders. Sorry, I just joined after watching you on a podcast talking about your P&O and Malif issue. Have you got anywhere? Nope. They're just burying their heads in the sand and ignoring all of us. They haven't messaged any of us. Not an email to any of us. It's a disgrace. It's disgusting the way they're treating all of us. Not a single email. It makes me cross in case you can't work that out. Chris talking about bar bills on NCL. Alison, keep the thumbs up coming. Thank you. Vicky has retracted a message, even though we're amongst friends. Scott, we are going on Sky Princess April 2025 for Norwegian Fjords. What excursions would you recommend? Have you watched my Norwegian Fjords vlogs? You'll notice we did the Olden Skylift, which is a highlight anywhere on the planet. But you'll also notice if you watch the vlogs that I didn't do other excursions. We booked things independently. For example, a fjords boat cruise to see waterfalls and goats and all sorts. So can I recommend you have a watch of Travelblog Jamie, P&O Iona, Norwegian Fjords, and hopefully that will give you ideas. Oh, we did an RIB, a rib boat ride as well, by the way, from Hellesilt, which took in the Geiranger Fjords, which is the right place to do it. You don't want to do that sort of thing in Haugesund, for example, even Stavanger to a certain degree. You want to be in the thick of the fjords for that kind of experience. Alrighty, Janine, my mother spelt my name that way so my biological father could find me easier. Okay, he never did try. Oh, I'm sorry, but what am I sorry about that? Let's keep reading. I found him, but he died years before now. I'm bloody stuck with it. Wow, I think there's a lot to unpick there, Janine. Thank you for sharing that with us. I think your name's awesome. I love the spelling. It just took me a while. I was reading, I'm just reading as things pop up here. So sometimes your names make me really think carefully about pronunciation. Steve, do you have a recommendation for good traditional Greek taverna in Rhodes? Yes. It was called Kimiko. It's going to be on my vlog. It is a very unassuming small kitchen. It's a grill, and the outdoor area is beautiful, might I add. Absolutely beautiful. I'm sure it's called Kimiko. I thought it was great. I had a great meal there. I really did. I'm running out of time, aren't I? And I've just realized I've got so many comments here. I'm not going to be able to answer them. I was vowing to be done within an hour and 10 minutes. So can I just apologize in advance for not getting through all the questions? There's literally hundreds of them tonight. So I'm really sorry. I am going to wrap up. I will read them all, though. You are, of course, welcome over on my Facebook group page, my personal page. And of course, people are always asking questions in the comments under my videos, my vlogs. So please do so. And I will get back to you as soon as I can. It could be a month. No, it's not. I normally get back to people on the same day. Okay. Listen, it's been fun. Thank you so much for joining me. All of those Marella cruise vlogs coming out over the next 2 weeks. And I'm going to see you next Monday. I don't know what the focus will be yet. we'll have a think about it, won't we? And don't forget, if you've got a link to the Wave Awards, I would appreciate a cheeky little vote for Travel Blog Jamie, who's never going to win an award because he's too opinionated, but it sends a message to the people there that people are watching. Take care, everybody. Lots of love to all of you. Have a great week, and I will see you very soon. Lots of love. Ready? Mwah.